if you're a small business owner and you're looking to start a QuickBooks Online file, I wanted to just show you an easy way to do that because there's a kind of a lot of options and it's probably an overwhelming experience. So I've worked with over 100 local small businesses over the last decade. So I've done this plenty of times. I know what's important versus what's not. So hopefully it's helpful. So first off, you're going to start out Googling Get QuickBooks Online. You're going to get to this page. Now, I'm assuming you don't have an intuit.com account yet. There might be a different way if you already have an account to like start a new QuickBooks file. But essentially, you're going to want to figure out which version of QuickBooks Online you're going to want to use. Before I say that, I will say if you're looking to hire a bookkeeper, you probably want to stop here and go get the bookkeeper first. They're going to set you up with the QuickBooks Online file. And they'll be able to get you a discount. So you don't want to start a file and then get a bookkeeper later and then have to give them access and all that. They might not be able to get you the discount depending on how old the file is. So something to think about. Assuming that you are here and you are wanting to do this on your own, we can continue talking about the types of QuickBooks Online files. So there's the version Simple Start, Essentials, Plus, and I would just completely ignore Advanced. There's way too much going on with that. I would imagine you're a small business, pretty simple books. So default to Simple Start, right? It's the cheapest option. It has kind of everything you would most likely need. Now, the only difference here is at the bottom, if for some reason you have multiple currencies, the thing I've identified as the most important factor that can actually move people out of Simple Start and into Essentials or Plus is the number of users. So I wanted to clarify that the number of users is not contingent on sending access to your accountant or a bookkeeper. So you basically have one slot for yourself in Simple Start, but also 2 slots specifically for an accountant and a bookkeeper. So they do not count as a user in this case. So a user would be someone like a virtual assistant who's going to be sending out invoices or paying bills or something like that, or a business partner, right? A co-owner with somebody and you both need access to books. That would be a user. So you'd have to go up to Essentials. So just look at these 3 columns and decide on which one makes the most sense. And then once we get there, I'm going to go in and show you what it actually looks like to go through and start off the QuickBooks file the right way. So I'll go there right now. All right, so this is the welcome page for QuickBooks Online. So you should be seeing this. You have your legal business name. This one's Sample Consulting Company. And then you want to try to put in the industry. Now, I found this list to be kind of weird. They're oddly specific. Like I'm putting in consulting services, but it's saying, well, you've got to be marketing or environmental or human resources consulting. So all this is really going to do, from what I can tell, is change the default accounts in your chart of accounts. And you can change that all the time, right? I mean, you're not set in stone with any of that. So I would say you do want to try to get as close as you can to what your industry is. For the sake of this video, I'll just click on marketing consulting services because this is different for every single person, but try to have a look around of trying to find an industry that makes sense for you. I'm going to go with marketing consulting services. I'm assuming you have not been using any sort of different accounting software, so nothing. I'm new to this. Pretty straightforward. I'm a sole prop. I'm going to select that. And then I only provide services. I don't sell products. They're going to think that you need to do sales tax. That's probably what they're going to try to do. So Future Kevin here. I realized I did not explain that properly. So just select if you sell products or services. You can always change that later. It will just unlock certain features in QuickBooks. And if you don't select something, it just won't have that feature there, which is fine. So the next part is actually very similar. You're just telling QuickBooks how you plan on using the software. Some of the features will open up and some will close. This can all be changed later. So back to the video. I'm going to be sending and tracking invoices. I want to organize my expenses. I don't have any inventory. I'm not going to be tracking my bills. This is the kind of stuff that most of our clients don't use. If you're a pretty straightforward business, you don't need to use any of this. A little caveat. I would not use QuickBooks Online Payroll. Don't bother with it. I've had a lot of problems with it with my clients. If you're going to be doing payroll, go to like ADP or Gusto. That's my suggestion. So, all right, done. And here's QuickBooks Online. By the time you're looking at this, it might look a lot different. They're going to be changing the platform. It might look very different. So either way, what you're going to do now is go to bank transactions, and you want to get your banks set up and connected into this. Now, I'm not going to go through this process exactly. It's pretty straightforward. You're basically going to link your bank. You're going to go in, find your bank, do a login, select the accounts, and then approve it, essentially. And it will go in and pull in the transactions, right? And you'll see them all listed out here. You'll do that for each of your business checking accounts, business savings accounts, business credit cards. And then you're going to start categorizing transactions, right? This is for maybe a different video. I'm just really setting you up with a new QuickBooks Online file. I mean, that's really all you need to do. I would say maybe go to accountant settings and just put together all of your, put your legal name in there. This is like a one-time thing. Put your legal name in there, contact information. That'll make it easy when you do start sending out invoices, assuming you do. It'll all fill that information in for you, right? As far as advanced, maybe you're probably on a cash basis. That's the most simple form of accounting. Just to make everything easy, you want to save that as cash basis. Some automation things that might be important. I have noticed that pre-filling transactions with previously entered content, it usually causes more problems. So I would actually click that off. I don't really care about the other two. We're not even really using QuickBooks for that. And then it's just some random preference stuff. But then other than that, I'm going to go done. And then there you go. That says, then you start, I have a different video for this actually, but you start doing the bookkeeping, right? Categorizing your transactions, reconciling all of it, pulling your reports, and that's a whole different thing. But this is the most simple way to set up a QuickBooks Online file. There's not much else you really need to deal with. So hopefully that was helpful and pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me, Capital Creek Bookkeeping. My name's Kevin, and thanks for watching.